you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Thursday, the 16th of June. But first, a very brief recap. Well, we had one horse placed at 28 to 1. I thought it came to win the race. Just as it made its move with 2 furlongs to go, it seemed to like stumble or run in behind something and lose its momentum. And well, if it had done that, I think it would have gone very close to winning. And finally, the last selection. Thank you, Sam, for the comment. Queen of Comedy. I didn't think it was quite such a monkey as that, but I knew it was head and shoulders. Like I don't know if you saw the commentary beforehand or the preview of the race by the commentators or the analysts, should I say? And they were basically saying the same story as what I was saying, as in like it's potentially ridiculously well handicapped, and I think it was. It's just that the horse it looks like an absolute monkey, but to be fair to it, it did pick up, it did win just on line. I think it was a decent ride from PJ McDonald, even though, as the commentators said, horses don't normally win from that position at Nottingham. But anyway, enough about that. To be honest, I did have a bigger bet towards the end of the day, but obviously that makes no difference to the bet that you've had. But I did put a little bit more on the horse towards the end. I did say I was going to, but it was more to do with the returns from early on during the day. But in the end, I just had a little bit more on it. But anyway, that's enough about that. What I've had a 25 pence each way lucky 15, and another 25 pence each way lucky 15, all on the same selections. And that might sound a bit daft, but here's the reason why. I've got a real funny feeling about these horses. They're not huge prices, but they're decent prices. Unfortunately, when you take SP, you cannot cash out. So basically, I've split the stake, as in I've done 25 pence each way lucky 15 on these selections, taking the prices. And then a 25 pence each way, look 15, and took SP. So here goes. So the first selection is Venusina at 18 to 1 in the 5+3 at Royal Ascot, paying 7 places instead of 4. This horse came from absolutely nowhere, and when it was all rolling along, it was still detached and came with an absolute astonishing run. Well, he's trained by Henry de Bromhead. Well, he's won recently pretty much everything to do in the National Hunt game, and I think he's now pretty much just due a Royal Ascot winner. Well, who do you want? Well, so I suppose you don't really want to, but who would you normally want if you've got a horse that wants to be held up last and come with a late run? You would normally say Jamie Spencer, or at least Jamie Spencer probably 5 years ago. Yeah, don't get me wrong, he's not as good as what he is, but he can tend to get good tunes out of horses that sit last. Well, this probably will sit last. He wants a really quiet introduction to the race and then unleashing late on. I think it's crying out for the step up to 1 mile 4 furlong, having raced between a mile and 2. It's pretty much, I say, the ground last time was good firm in places. Well, this time it's pretty much rattling quick ground at Royal Ascot. And it's never run on ground as quick as that, but I think it could potentially prefer that ground. But anyway, the second selection is Tashkan at 22 to 1 in the 420, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse has improved rapidly since joining Brian Ellison. I think it was rated something like 70 or 80 something. It's now rated about 110, I think it is. It's right behind the best of these on form. I mean, it's given a good ride. It's got every chance of winning, in my opinion. I think Stradivarius it's on the. Don't get me wrong, it's a very good horse. It's a very good horse still. It could well still win this race, but I think that horse is vulnerable now. I don't know too much about the AP O'Brien favourite. Trushan, yes, it'll be hard to beat, but I do think Tashkan could at least fill the 4th place because they are paying first 4. Could at least pay the first 4, or even potentially better. Ben Robinson, the jockey, he's always rode pretty well for me. Obviously, he's on the big stage today. Obviously, he'll be looking to impress, and he'll want a Royal Ascot winner. Well, like everybody will, let's be honest. The third selection is Koi Koi at 11 to 1 in the 5 o'clock at Royal Ascot, and I'm not sure how many I picked. First 4. Right, so this horse, it's Ian Balding. Sorry, it's not Ian Balding. It's Andrew Balding. It's not his dad. This horse it's gradually been getting into form. It hasn't run many times this season. I think this is a perfect set up job for Andrew Bolding. I do think it's, well, like most horses in this race, it has been aimed at this race, but I think it will hit its real peak in this race tomorrow, Thursday. I think it's got a cracking chance. 11 to 1 into a huge price, but I do really like its chances. And the final selection is Ropey Guest at 28 to 1 in the 10 past 6, playing 7 places instead of 4. Well, this horse, it does generally run well at Ascot. It is favoured, like it's in the lower numbers, well, low to middle draw. Tom Queener takes the ride. He knows all about these horses, these Guest horses, and I mean like the surname Guest. It led with a couple of fellows to go last time in its Ascot race, and it just got swamped late on. I do think it's been tuned for this race. Although I've taken the price at 28 to 1, I think it probably will be a lot better. But I do want to have, like I said before, I do want to have the chance of cashing out if necessary or if possible. So those are the 4 selections. What I've also had, so it's basically it's a 50 pence each way lucky 15 split into 2 by having a 25 pence each way lucky 15 by taking the prices, a 25 pence each way clicking SP and not taking the prices. But I've also had £1 each way on each selection, so that still comes to £23. So the very best of luck. If you've got any fancies for tomorrow, leave them in the comments. If you've got any comments about the selection I've made, leave them in the comments, ideally before the race. Anyway, the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.